Okay, K's on, I see. So we're going to get going here. K. Okay. So as I started organizing myself for today's class, it's mobility, and I am hoping and praying that many of you do this session barefooted. Everybody's different. Everybody has issues one way or the other, maybe reasons they can or can't, whatever. I'm going to encourage you to try to go barefooted. If you have a nice carpet, that works really much better, because we lose the fat, the subcutaneous fat under our feet as we have our birthdays. Many of you, I'm sure, know this. But one of the reasons why there's so much padding on shoes, running shoes, etc., is because of that fact. You don't want the feeling of a bruised, because your bones are hitting the ground. So as I have my little pad here, I just am putting my feet there, and then I'm going to just stand right on here and just do a little bit of that piston work. I'll turn here so you'll see what I'm talking about. So I could do this like this or like this, but I'm going to invite you to get your rib cages up, drop your shoulders, soften up the knees, and do a little bit of a pulsing. See, I'm not going to call it bouncing. I got my pole here. If I didn't have my pole, I would have my chair so I can put my hands on it, or my wall, okay? So always have that in place. But once you step up and back and you've corrected your posture, then I'm going to just go into the balls of my feet. I'm going to squeeze my gluteals, and I'm going to again line myself up. That means chin tucked. And I'm just going to go into the balls of the feet, okay, the front of my foot. And I want to just lift my heels, lift them together, lift them together. I have very long pants on this morning, so you might not be able to see my heels, but I just want to bring those heels up. And every time I go into the balls of my feet, I want to line myself back up. You know why? Because if you just start doing this, pretty soon you're going to be out like this. So say rib cage up, tighten the tummy, and bring your heels up a little at first, just a little, and then a lot. Go way up into a full, almost walking on your toe type thing. You see what I mean? This balance pad is such a good tool for moves like this, okay? So while you're doing this, if you want it to be even more challenging for your balance, then don't put your pole on the ground. Have your hand next to the chair and do it without leaning on something. Have it there if you need it, but really go a little bit, and then really go a lot. And when you go a lot into the toe box where those toes are bending, keep realigning, don't lean in, and just press it up there. Just give those toes some real bending to get yourself up into a full stance on the balls of your feet. See that? Okay. And again, if you don't use this, you don't use a pole, if you don't use like a wall or something, a counter, you're going to start bending a little bit. Try not to do that. Tighten, tighten. Here we go. Drop my shoulders. Yes, yes, and yes. Now step off and step off. So anytime you're doing stepping and you're barefooted, then go ahead and use this pad. That will help you a lot. Okay? We're going to put the bar down, put it right here at my chair, and then we're going to go into the Walker's Daily Dozen. But before we do that, I want you to just take your arms like this, okay? Now I have a shoulder that catches on me. I can't do a full rotation without doing some adjusting here because of my previous injury. I know, everybody's got a story, and that's the way it is. But it is a story. And so don't not pay attention to that. So I'm going to take a wider stance, and I'm just going to do this. See this? Back and forth. My thumbs are in, and I'm just going to swing down low. Okay, I'm rocking and rolling, breath, rocking and rolling, breath, bring those heels up. See, I'm just moving from my heel to my forefront while I'm doing this little fan with my arms, okay? And why am I doing that? Because I have issues with my shoulder. This one over here, this one's pretty fine, but this one, yeah. And so what do I want to do? I want to warm it up. Yeah, because I'm going to ask you to do a lot of moving today in big moves. So if you're going to ask your shoulder to do that, and all the time I'm doing this shifting from my heels to my toes, shifting, dropping my shoulders, taking a breath through my nose, tightening in my tummy, saying rib cage up so I'm not leaning forward, especially leaning forward with your chin. Okay, keep these going. Okay, a couple more. Big breath through the nose, drop your shoulders, tighten in. Okay, you ready? So just those few repetitions, hardly a minute or so, has given my synovial fluid that's in all your joints, and what gets it working more smoothly is to just move your joint gently. That's why you walk. That's why you do a stationary cycle. That's why if you get physical therapy because of a shoulder issue, they'll put you on one of these things at the physical therapist because they're trying to warm you up. So once we've done that, then I'm going to take this, and I'm taking consideration here that this shoulder of mine, when I go from this and I want to go into a rotation, it will catch. And I know this, so I'm going to circumvent that. So how do I do that? From this positioning, okay, and you are lifting your heels, lifting your toes gently, not much. I'm going to go from that to right here, bring it in, and then I'm going to drop my hands, and I'm going to bring my shoulders up. So instead of going straight from a certain move with my shoulder, I'm doing little changes. So see what I'm doing right here? See that? Yeah. Then I'm going to bring these back up. I'm going to keep my elbows are going to still stay at the same level. But when I go down here, see right here, if I was to try to go on down with this little tricky shoulder, it won't do it. So I'm going to drop my shoulders and then turn, and then I can bring them up. Okay? So keep this little technique in mind when you're trying to take your shoulders or any joint through a major big move. Okay? So here I am. See, my elbows are here. That's my goal, is to keep my elbows there, whether my hands are here or whether they're way back down. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time. So I'm right here. I'm going to put my hands right behind my head. I'm going to push back. See, I'm going to push back on my head there. And I'm going to push back by dropping my chin. Do you see my elbows are at the same level? See, I don't have them way up here. I don't have them way down here. They're right here. Okay, so take your fingertips, push on the back of your head. So push on the back of your head with your fingers and push back with your head against the fingers. So it's a push-pull. Okay, big breath. Open those elbows. Open them, open them, open them. Okay, now keep the elbows there. And we're right here. Now I'm going to drop them. This is a little technique. And I hope this will work for you, Kay. Take a breath. Okay, now I want to get those elbows at the same level. I want to drop. See, I just came down a little bit. I just adjusted, then I drop, and I bring my shoulders way up to my ears. And my elbows now are at the same location. Then I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna go all the way back here. Okay, I'm gonna come up, just like that. Now my palms are up. Now while your palms are up, drop your shoulders. Okay, stay with me here. Palms are up, soften your knees. Some of you have locked your knees, okay? And if you wanna be standing on your little balance pad, go for it, that's fine. It will give your feet a little bit more of a workout. So right here, palms are up, right? Now turn. Yeah, turn them back there. And if you have to, go even lower. So if you're here, just turn so that your palms are up. And I can tell you with the little injury that I had in my shoulder, this right here, I can feel that. But I want to be able to do the mobility. I want to be able to move. It's when you can't turn your hands up and then turn them and go back around. You can't even do that. Then you've halted your mobility. So keep your hands really down low. Soften up your knees. Okay. And now my palms are down. Now I'm going to turn my palms up. Turn, and now they come up. Now straighten up and lift. See that? So this is the move. This is the entry position or move for a broad jump. Okay? So now I'm going to come back down. I'm going to come back down. I'm going to come back down. Say rib cage up. Come back up. And bring these hands up as far as you can without doing this. See, a lot of us want to do this. No, stand up. Really good posture. Get yourself lined up. And if your hands don't come up, that's no big deal. I want you to stand fully up because I'm trying to address some issues and dysfunction here. Okay? So take a big deep breath. And then I'm going to come down. And I'm going to come swing and come up. See that? So now I'm doing the first couple moves of the Walker's Daily Dozen. See this? And then I'm going to come back out. And if you're on your little balance pad, you're doing double duty because you got to keep your balance. Your feet are working all over the place. Yay! That's what I want to do. So here I go. Just palms up. Swing. And come back out. I didn't go all the way down. And come back. See, I didn't turn my hands yet. So now I'm going to stand up and I'm going to turn. So it's that move right there that I'm looking for to open these and to get these up as far as I can. Then I come back down. I'm going to go swing, take a big deep breath, and come back down. Okay? So just a couple times on some of these moves, just a couple times. Then I'm going to stay right here and I'm going to put one leg back. See that? So the leg that goes back, that arm is the one that's going to come up. Now, if you're working on the pad here, that's extra work and you're going to get off, you're going to get, and that's okay. Just be ready for that. Be ready to put your hand on a chair, ready to put your hand on the wall, whatever. Okay, so here I'm standing. I'm going to keep this leg here and put this hand right back here. I'm going to step down. This is my kickstand. So I'm not going fully down. I'm putting my toe back. So I do maintain a little touch point with my back leg here. This leg is very bent, shoulders down. Take a breath. Bring the hand that's on the side of the down leg up. And you're going to come over here as far as you can and back with your arm as far as you can in the back. And you can do this on one leg if you want to for challenge, or just keep your toe there like a kickstand. Now say rib cage up because some of you are leaning out, you're rounding your back. How do I know this? I just do. Okay, drop your shoulders, reach here and reach here, back. Count to 15 seconds, count to 10 seconds, come off of that. Step off. Then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna step with the other leg. I'm gonna be right there in the middle of the balance pad, okay? So this leg stays in place. This arm goes back here. And so when you don't see it, I'm reaching back. That's what I'm doing with that one. This one is like a kickstand. I'm not down. See, that would be down. So it's like a kickstand. Put your toe down on the floor, drop your shoulders, breath through the nose, take that arm up, soften your knee again. Okay, I'm gonna really reach. I'm gonna reach as far as I can over here. And again, if you want a more challenge, you just pick that toe up in the back. Don't let it be touching. Okay, I'm reaching here as hard as I can. Knee has to be soft. Has to be soft. It has to be soft. I'm gonna do this for a few seconds. And then if you really feel like you're losing balance, of course, put your toe down like a kickstand. Now push and pull. See, I'm pushing up here, I'm pulling back here. You can see my arm over here. And then bring it back down. Count to 10, count to 15. See if you can do it for 15 to 30 seconds. And then come off. Just like that, okay? Now, I'm gonna move this aside. And I'm going to put one leg back again. And I'm gonna put one leg back. I just wanna feel how that feels. Now I'm gonna turn to the side. So you'll see what in the heck I'm doing, okay? So I'm right here. And I wanna be bent at a 90 degrees, okay? Of course, if you can't get to a 90 degrees, just go to less than that, okay? Just go a little bit. See, this is straight up and down. Now I'm bending. It's a greater close in of that joint. And here is the 90 degrees. I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. And I have an item down here. It doesn't have to be something, but it gives you a target to shoot at, because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put one leg back and I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to come down there to a 90 degrees, and I can use this as a kickstand, but I'm gonna bring it up once in a while. Don't get freaked out with this. Many of us with joints replaced, we need to keep a toe on the ground. So let's just do it that way. Keep your chin tucked. You're gonna come down here. You're gonna do minimal pressure on this leg here. Minimal. And I'm gonna go reach right here. And I'm gonna go reach. See, it's just a little ball, and I'm gonna stay down there. See this? I'm just gonna do a little fast reaching. And if I can do this where I don't have my foot on the ground, I may try to do that. But you know what you don't wanna do? You don't wanna round your back. You should have felt that move powerfully right through here of the leg that's holding you in place, okay? So it's reaching down to an object that's down in the floor is the point, okay? So now I'm gonna come switch legs. I pull this up so you can see what I'm doing with my legs, okay? Drop your shoulders. Okay, here you are in this little staggered stance. That's all it is. I'm gonna hip hinge. I'm gonna go as far as I can to reach the object on the ground. Think of picking up shoes, picking up purses, picking up a tool. That's what I'm trying to get you to do, is to mimic that move. So here I go. Big breath, hip hinge, tuck my chin. I'm gonna come down here, I'm gonna put minimal pressure on the leg back here. And I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna go tap and then tap. I'm gonna fully bring my arm back. And I'm gonna just come down as far as I can. And I'm gonna maintain, and all I have is the toe on the floor on the back leg. Full foot right here. You want this leg to get all the pressure. So I'm going to go tap, 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 and tap. Then I'm going to go into, put my hands here, come up, and I'm fully up. Soon as I get up to here, I'm going to do my staggered, I'm going to do my tandem stance. See this? Just try one foot over the other, one foot over the other. Just do this. Through your day, just get on your floor. If you really want to get good at this, Tim, you may want to pay attention. I'm teaching you a skill here to pass the sobriety test. Okay, rib cage up. Put some painter's tape on your floor is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, and then take a foot up and put it right back until you feel your heel. Now, let me warn you, I hope you're listening. Have a pole in your hand unless you can be at a wall. If you can be at a wall or do this about around the counter, great, do that. It's your safety net, that's all. So heel to toe, heel to toe. So I'm going to go like this, heel to toe, heel to toe, toe to heel, heel to toe, okay? And you don't have to do a whole bunch, 2 or 3 steps. So now, right now, I'm going to go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this without using the pole. I'm going to try to do this without using specifically my hand on the wall or a counter or the end of the bed or whatever. Sure, it's there if I need it, but I'm really trying to show you the little nuances of the heel to toe, and they call it the sobriety walk or tandem stance. We'll say that, okay? So here I am, rib cage up, because the reason I want you to find your balance on here is because once you have done a couple of toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, then I want you to bring your hands up here. They don't go up here, they just come up to the shoulder. And you kind of almost cross midline. Now, if you want it to be a little less challenging, don't go across midline, just go forward and back. But hold your stance. And you can go as fast and hard as you want to. Now I'm going to take the back leg and put it in front of the front leg. Yeah, you'll have missteps. Do it. You're supposed to. Okay, now soften and lower your center of gravity. Okay, make sure you're next to a wall, a chair, something you can put your hand on if you need to. Lower the center of gravity by hip hinging and knee bending. My toe is right at my heel. My feet are straight forward. Lower your center of gravity, tight tummy, whoa, and start the arm swing. Now I'm going to go across because I want to try to hold this balance. And it's just a quick arm swing. That's why, one of the reasons why I started with those arm swings a while ago. Take a breath. Take a breath. Breath. Keep your knees soft. You have a tendency when you start to lose balance to stiffen and straighten. No, don't do that. Hunker down, okay? Doing this repeatedly and getting off balance and then telling yourself, repeat after me, lower my center of gravity. Don't go up and lock. And keep your arms going. And if you feel you're getting off balance, lower your center of gravity. Now, come up. Let's switch our feet. Here I come. So now I've got my other one in front, okay? First thing you do, take a breath. Make sure you feel your heel and toe. Stay on that line. Now lower the center of gravity. Yeah, you're gonna push your butt back. Drop your shoulders, yes. Chin tucked, yes. Now, if you wanna make this more challenging, right now, take a breath. You close one eye. Try it. Just close one eye, not both. You close both, I can guarantee you, you're heading to the floor. Okay? Just close one eye at a time. Usually you'll be better on one side than the other, but you'll get off. Okay, now step out of that. Yay. So here I am. I'm going to turn one leg and I'm going to go out here. See that? This toe is forward. This toe just took a big rotation turn step. See that? This knee is going to bend. This knee stays straight. Okay, so let's do that again. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Bring it right here. You're just right here. This is where you're going to work. Keep one leg right here. Soften the joints. Tighten. Drop. Breath. Step. And now that toe is headed that way. Okay? This leg's going to go straight. This knee is going to bend. And here we go. Straight on out there. Just bend right down there. Come back. Bend down. Take a breath. Bend down. See how I'm inching my toes out more and more? Yeah. So we're opening up these hips. All right. Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Then go from here to right down here and just go the opposite way with your hands. So you're going to go drop. You're going to hold your stance. Straight leg here. Toe is forward. Toe is straight out here. Bent knee. Woo! And then come back down. And reach up as far as you can. Both ways. Right here. And then right here. And then right here. And then right here. And then come back. And come back up. Okay. Here we are. We go the other way. So this is really aimed at opening the hip, opening your shoulders. I just put a little move on the end there. Okay, I'm going to go this way. See that? I'll move this so you see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to step out here. Right here. This knee is going to bend. This knee is going to go straight. Got it? See how I'm going to go out a little more, a little more, a little more? Bend. Straighten. Toe is forward pointing. Toe is sideways pointing. See that? Okay. Now say rib cage up. Do not hit this move and forget that last move. Do you see what I just did? I went from this and I said rib cage up. Drop my shoulders. See? See, I'm inching because I want this to bend out there as far as I can. Yeah. Open, open. Then I take my hands out there and I'm pointing, 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 pointing. I can bring them up a little bit, bring them right here to a big T, and then come down, turn, and point the opposite way. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, breath, pull, and point, okay? Then one last little turn, just one or two. And really point out there, point out there, point out there, point out there. And then come back, hold that stance, push this down, 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 and bring it back down. Okay? Now I'm going to go straight from here, down to the floor. Yes, that's my goal. For anybody that's been with me for a while, I want you to be able to get down on the floor with confidence and back up. If you have replaced joints, I'm telling you, do not do some of these tests that I see on the internet. Oh, you want to test to see, you know, how, if you can get up off the floor without touching anything? It gets your hips in a certain position where it's not what you want, but you can still get in the floor. That's the point. So I'm going to go from here. Okay. You can use your chair. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go like a football stance. Then I'm going to walk myself out, put my knees down. I'm very capable at this point to get on down into the floor. See, I can come right down here. And now I'm able to do a quality back extension, hyperextension. Okay, So I'm pushing down into the elbows and really dropping my chin and pulling my shoulders up. And then I'm going to come down and put my hands over my head, and I'm going to put my forehead on the ground. And my toes are pointing. So the tops of your feet are on the ground. Now give yourself a big stretch. Really big stretch. Take a breath, and you just put your forehead down. Then when you come back, you go back into a hyperextension again, laying down. Take a big deep breath. Then I'm going to put my elbows down. And I'm going to put my toes down. I'm going to really push into my toes. And I want to emphasize that this is one of the best positions to really make those toes. But you could do this sitting in the chair. I've done it before with you. But you see how I have my toes really flexed? Yeah. So now I'm going to come up from my elbow, tighten my tummy. I'm going to bring myself up so that I'm fully on my hands and knees. And I'm going to take one leg back. And I'm going to take the opposite hand out. And I'm just going to lift them. Not way up. I'm just going to lift them to the shoulder height and the hip height. And then I'm going to tap just a few times. Take a big deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Soften the elbow. And this is the last one. Bring it back in, back in. Bring your elbows down. Make your butt go way up in the air. Bring your forehead right down to your hands. Take a big deep breath. Come back into hands and knees. So I'm right here. And now I'm going to take the other leg back. And I'm going to take the opposite arm up. Then I'm going to squeeze the gluteal and lift. Take a breath. Down and tap. Down and tap. Down and tap. Okay? Hold there, hold there, hold there, hold there, hold there. Big deep breath. Then I'm going to come right here. And I'm going to do a high plank from the floor. If you're not there and you want to do it at the chair, absolutely. Hands on the chair and just take your legs out as far as you can. Okay? So if you're in the floor with me, we're just going to go here. And we're going to take one leg back. Okay? Drop our shoulders. Soften our elbows. Very important. Right now, tighten your tummy. Because you're going to go and take the other knee back. Ready? Tight tummy. Push back and hold. 2, hold. Yes. Hold. Breath. Hold. Breath. Hold. Breath. And now, just act like you're going to get up. See, you just push yourself back. And at this point, before you come up, you can grab your elbows or you can put your hands on the floor and straighten those legs and pull the chest to the knees. Then you're going to bend. You're going to bend right down. And when you get ready to come up, you're going to push through the feet. Put your hands here. And you're going to stand up with your quads. Stand up with your gluteals. That's what you want to do. Okay? And you get a good stretch through your hamstrings. All right? So I'm right here. We're moving right through our chart. Really good. Bend the knees. Just a little. This has to do with big muscles that are attached at your shoulder and go all the way into your back area, the lower back. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to bend the knee just a little. And I'm going to act like I'm going to touch my leg, my ankle, actually, my ankle. So stay with me. This hand's going to go way up. This leg is going to be straight. Bend this knee. Come down. Grab the ankle. And turn. And just open that shoulder. Take a breath. Your feet are fully grounded. Then when you're ready to come up, you bring this hand here. You put your hands right here on your knee. And you give a little push. And you don't ever have to strain your back. getting down into a down position in any way. So let's do it on the other side. So what do? This is the leg's gonna stay straight. My toes are pretty much both out, okay? Pretty forward. They'll be out a little bit. It's not a big deal. So this leg now is gonna be the bendy leg. So I'm gonna come down like I wanna grab my ankle. So as I'm coming down, what do I have to do with my back? Everybody should be screaming, keep it extended. Yes. So I'm grabbing my ankle. I'm going to take that arm up. This leg is straight. I'm going to take it up, back over my back there. Really pull that arm back. Okay, as hard as you can. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. And then bring it back down. Bring your hands right here. Push into the leg and come up. Then I want you to just go right here. Then I want you to just go right here. Okay? If you've been injured, if you have been sick, injured, things are quite floating right, you know? Be happy to do just this. Okay? Start within a range that you can do. So I can't even tell you if you can just do this and do it with good mechanics. So the minute you see me come down here like this, I'm pushing my butt back, okay? My rib cage is up, my chin is tucked. And all I'm gonna do is come right here, put a little pressure into that heel, and I feel it out here, okay? Then I come up fully. Then I come down here, okie dokie. And I just I'm happy to just go to my knee. So you don't have to go all the way down, but I'm feeling it all the way out here. This move. We don't do this move often, but it's one that we need to keep these muscles strong with. And I've seen all versions of this. So just break it down and keep good mechanics going. Use a little help. See, just a little help. And just swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just like that. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, you're fully grounded in your foot. You should be on all four corners of your feet right now. Take a big deep breath. Drop your shoulders. And just do it a couple of times. It's that motion. It's very calming, okay? And when you haven't been feeling so good, or you have something injured or whatever, do some of those more minimal moves, okay? So now I'm gonna bring this chair out here. I'm gonna sit. And I could do this on the floor. Yeah, you can get right in the floor and do this whole thing. So if I was laying down, you can do everything in the floor. But for those of you who might not want to, and this is one that I hope that you're capitalizing on and learning to do a lot of, this one right here, okay? And if I were in the floor, it would be called the wave. So we're doing a great hip rotation. So I'm not going to hammer on it right now, meaning I'm not going to sit there and push harder. I'm going to flow back and forth. So here I go. I'm going to turn, and my toes are very flexed. Get it very close to the chair, and then the whole upper body moves back until you feel that stretch coming up through that quad. Then you turn. So you don't just hammer on it. So you get to the very edge, drop that knee. The toes are very flexed. Now you go back and really get that knee in, okay? Take a big breath. You're way back here, way back here, way back here. Big breath, big breath, big breath, big breath. And then come back up and flow back to the other side. Once you've done 2 or 3 of these, your whole back, all your shoulders will just ease up and relax. Why? Because we hold tension in a joint that we have flexed all the time. So I want to open it. And I've given you several opportunities this morning in this session to open those tight hip flexors, okay? Big breath through the nose. Yeah. and then come back. And then I'm just going to relax here. I'm going to open back a little bit. I'm going to bring one leg up here. I'm going to see how far I can get it in. And here's the kicker. Yes, I'm going to see how far you can get your leg in here. But if I were standing right next to you while you did this, I would put my hand right here because I want to see what little cheaters I have. Because the minute you bring your leg up here, especially if you're sitting, you do this when you're standing too. But when you're sitting, you bring it up here and you go, oh, I can get it way up there. And then you do this and you round your back. Don't round your back. You open back. You bring the knee to you. You don't bring the back down. And then you do point flex, point flex, point flex, point flex. And you come up and you say rib cage up. And you open back. And what do you do here? What's to keep you from rounding your back here? You don't bring your back down. You bring the knee to the shoulder. That's what you capitalize on. If you feel that you're rounding your back just even a little bit, well, you got to let it come down a little bit. You got to straighten that back. Okay? So bring that knee in and bring it down. You could do this, I don't know, 3 to 5 times. I'm not counting today. I don't want to get in trouble with Kathy. Sessions like this when I don't count, that drives her crazy. I know. I have to. I'll never let go of this whole counting thing. It's just hilarious because she keeps me honest. Okay. Take a big breath. One last one. Here we go. Bring the leg in. You don't go down to the leg. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Yeah. So it's just part of the mobility work this morning. Now, bring those elbows right there, but don't let your shoulders go to your ears. Not yet. Okay. Drop the shoulders and then push on your elbow against your knee. Get a little push there so that you feel that groin activate. Yeah, right there. Take a big deep breath. Come center. Then put that elbow right here. Turn and look over your shoulder. Push the knee out, like push against it. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. Big deep breath. And then come back and bring it back in. Now, we're sitting in our chair. I am telling you, if you don't know where to start sometime, let's say you missed whatever, you've been injured, you haven't really been yourself, you're going to find yourself sitting. Start there. You're sitting and stand. Now, when you stand, this has to be tight. Yeah, just squeeze them tight. That's it. Now, hip hinge, rib cage up, come down, and just as you're coming down and you're getting ready to sit down, just hold it, 1001, 1002, 1003, and then sit down. If you do that 10 times after every time you eat a meal, oh my goodness, the research has been so clear that you will step out of issues with a high glucose levels. So it's right here, right here. Sit to stand, squeeze, hold, 1, 2, 3, down. Take a breath. Exhale. And inhale as you come down. Okay? Easy sit to stands. I want this to be effortless, smooth, and you can do it fully mechanically correct, and it will give you such a leg up on your mobility issues. Okay? Open your hands out. Bring it right around here. Drop your shoulders and give yourself a big hug. Turn, 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 turn. Drop your shoulders. You should feel a lot better. Yes, you should. So I'm off to see the wizard. I hope you get the humor in that. It used to be my favorite show. Scared me to death. Okay, here we go. Record. Stop recording. Stop.